welcome to another edition of Chip Shots. It's our eighth episode, and I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm your host, Gary Mack, and we've got tons of action happening all across the golf world, so let's get right to it. Nelly Korda. Nelly Korda, the number one women's ranked golfer in the world, went out and finished with a 2 under par 69 to take home the gold medal in the Japanese Olympics or the Tokyo Olympics. She she settled for a double bogey on a par 3 seventh. She rebounded with three consecutive birdies, stalled on holes 14 through 17, making par on each, and Japan's Mone Inami birdied 17 to grab a share of the lead. On the final hole, Inami bogeyed and Korda finished with par, which was enough to claim gold in her first Olympics. Korda finished one shot ahead of Inami, who got silver, and Lydia Ko, who claimed the bronze medal after they headed to a playoff to decide those silver and bronze medals. With Korda's victory, the U.S. completes a sweep in the Olympic golf competition. 1 week ago, Xander Schauffele won the men's golf tournament, finishing 18 under through 4 rounds. Korda is the first player, man or woman, to win a major and the Olympic gold medal in the same year. So congratulations go out to Nelly Korda, who really has been playing some terrific golf as of late, and deservedly so. Went out and took that gold medal and really made her mark on the course on the second round when she had a shot at 59, ended up shooting 62, but boy, she couldn't miss with the putter. She was red hot. She was sinking everything in sight, and lots of first time winners as well in around the golf world is in the PGA. On the second hole of a three-man playoff at the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational, Abraham Ancer sank a 6-foot putt to claim his first victory on tour. In the 121st start of his PGA Tour career, he bested Hideki Matsuyama and Sam Burns, who both narrowly missed birdie putts that would have sent the playoff to a third hole. Ancer's round ended only minutes before the playoff began, while Burns and Matsuyama had to stick around a while once their regulation performances were final. Burns and Matsuyama put themselves in the improbable position to get back on the course with stellar Sundays. Burns, who came into the final round tied for 11th, 8 strokes off the lead, and Matsuyama was tied for 14th at a -9, while Ancer began the day in fourth and shot a final round 68. Harris English was poised for a wire-to-wire win and set to become the first on tour this season with 3 victories. Then disaster struck, 2 double bogeys in a 4-hole span, and a bogey 2 holes after that, and English's breakdown helped pave the way for the playoff. He finished at 15 under, while Ancer, Burns, and Matsuyama each finished at 16 under. So English lost out on the playoffs after leading the whole time. Bryson DeChambeau was chasing him as well, but he also fell apart. I'll tell you, those two guys, they found more water. I thought they were going to have to locate scuba gear for them. They were in the water so much. And Abraham Ancer hit 10 of 18 greens in regulations during his final round and had a good round of putting with no misses on putts within 10 feet and gets his first victory of his career, of his PGA Tour career. So congratulations to Abraham Ancer. And Eric Van Rooyen won the Barracuda Championship on Sunday for his first PGA Tour title, finishing with 50 points in the modified scoring Stableford scoring system. Van Rooyen eagled the par 4 eighth and closed with a birdie on the par 4 18th for a 5-point victory over Andrew Putnam. Players receive 8 points for an albatross, 5 for an eagle, 2 for birdie, and 0 for par. A point is subtracted for a bogey, and 3 points are taken away for a double bogey or worse. Van Ruin had a 16-point final round, making the eagle 6 birdies and a bogey. Scott Piercy was third with 44 points after an 11-point day. Third round leader Adam Schenk had a 5-point round to finish with 43. And boy, on that kind of thing, I guess I would be like a negative 54 on one of those modified stable for it the way I play. So I'm glad I'm not in that. But congratulations again to Eric Van Ruin for his first title. Um, and in the Corn Ferry Tour, Joshua Creel shot a final round 64 to win the Utah Championship by 2 strokes over Peter Uihlein, Taylor Montgomery, and Hayden Buckley. And over across the pond with our friends in Europe there on the Euro Tour, Grant Forrest entered the day in a share of the lead with countryman Caleb Hill, and for a large part of the final round, it was a head-to-head battle between the two home favorites. But on a dramatic afternoon, England's James Morrison carded a closing 63 to set the target at 23 under and lead by 1 as Forrest stood on the 17th tee. The 28-year-old Forrest then engineered a stunning finish, putting his tee shot to 4 feet on the hole and making a 30-foot two-putt from just off the green at the par 5 last hole to take the title by 1 shot after shooting a 66. Spaniard Santiago Taddeo birdied 2 of his last 3 holes in a bogey-free 68 to finish at 21 under, a shot clear of Hill and another Scotsman in David Law. The victory in his 77th event will move Forrest into the top 200 in the official World Golf Ranking and the top 40 on the Race to Dubai rankings in partnership with Rolex. So congratulations go out to Grant Forrest and to all our winners this week who really played. It was really a week of some excellent golf, and I got to tell you that FedEx, boy, those guys were. I'm not kidding when I say I thought they were going to need scuba gear because they kept dropping it in the water between DeChambeau and Harris English. I think did it twice um, in the final round, and I think DeChambeau dropped it a couple of times. And another time, it looked like he was in the water, but he was really in the sand trap in front of the green, or right by the water. So, but somebody had to win, and they did. And congratulations to all the winners. All right, it's time for a break. So let's take a break and be back right after this.
Sponsor an ad on the podcast. Support our show and let people know about your business. Email us today.
516-619-6341. That is the voicemail hotline if you'd like to leave a question, a comment, anything at all. Just call that number, 516-619-6341, and we'll play it on the air. Or if you'd like to be old-fashioned and send me an email, send it to talkinggolf@gmail.com. That's talkinggolf@gmail.com. It's time for the
Golf News of the Week.
Okay, and in the golf news of the week, little problems there with the video. Always intrigued. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm intrigued to see what the pros play and how that works and how they actually, you see them with a Titleist or Callaway hats and shirts and whatever and bags, and you figure that's what they play, but not necessarily. They love to mix their sets, and I was just taking a look. It's always fascinating me. I took a look at some of the equipment of the winners this week, and I've got two of them here: Nelly Korda and Abrian Ansa. And for instance, Nelly Korda is pretty much all Titleist all the way through, except for a hybrid. She's got a 25-degree hybrid that she uses as a ping. It's a ping G425 that she uses. But her irons are Titleist T100s. Vokey design wedges. Her putters are Scotty Cameron, and her ball is a Titleist Pro V1. Now you contrast that with Abrian Answer, who uses a Callaway Epic Speed Triple Diamond driver, TaylorMade Sim 2 Max fairway woods. He's got a 4 iron that's a Soroxan ZX, and the rest of his irons are Miori uh, 5 through pitching wedge, and his wedges are also Miori HB10, and his putter is an Odyssey White Hot number 5 stroke lab, and he too uses a Titleist Pro V1. So I thought that was kind of interesting how we all think that we should have everything should match, and you find out with these pros that, and they have got contracts, uh, but they have favorite clubs and they hit certain clubs well, and they don't want to, they don't always give it up. So I just thought it was an interesting thing. Bryson DeChambeau spoke on Wednesday for the first time since he had to withdraw from the 2020 Tokyo Olympics because of a positive COVID-19 test, and he had a lot to say, and as usual, and it was interesting to hear what he had to say. He said he was not vaccinated when he contracted the COVID 19, and the virus created some fatigue and congestion as he quarantined at home. He also lost 8 to 10 pounds and 5 miles per hour on his ball speed. Nevertheless, he does not regret being unvaccinated prior to the event in Tokyo. He said the vaccine doesn't necessarily prevent it from happening. I'm young enough. I'd rather give the vaccine to people who need it. I don't need it. I'm a healthy young individual who continue to work on my health. I don't think taking the vaccine away from someone who needs it is a good thing. Now, as time goes on, and if it is mainstream, really, really mainstream, then yeah, I'll take it. Um, the only thing is, I believe there's enough vaccine now for everybody. So I don't really see where his argument comes into play here. Um, but you can't force people to take it. So he decided to skip it so somebody else could get it. It was his reasoning, and who are we to judge that? I guess, he didn't want to take it and thought it would be better for somebody else. So there you go. And finally, in the news, researchers at the Kansas Polymer Research Center at Pittsburgh State University are partnering once again with the Missouri Soybean Merchandising Council to create an eco friendly version of an everyday product, and this time it's a golf ball. Last month, PSU chemistry professor Ram Gupta and graduate students embarked on a new project in an eco friendly design, making golf balls out of biodegradable soybean polymers. The project, which got off the ground last month and is expected to last around 2 years, is being conducted in two parts. One part focuses on creating the inner part of the golf ball, and the other on the harder outer shell. There is a lot of work ahead for the research team, but Gupta said that the work thus far has been promising. It's very primitive results that we have, he said, but those results are pretty exciting. So that ball you hit into the lake will biodegrade itself, and there's big business in these scuba divers going into these lakes and at golf courses and scooping up these balls and then reselling them. So a product like this would end that, but we'll see if it catches on and whether they can come, uh, get a solid results and make a good ball that plays well, checks up, has good distance, and is fairly durable. That's the key too. Fairly durable and makes the price worthwhile. But hey, at least they're looking into everything nowadays. All right, that's the news of the week, and let's take another break and be back with the schedule for next week right after this.
Sponsor an ad on the podcast. Support our show and let people know about your business. Email us today.
516-619-6341. That is the voicemail hotline if you'd like to leave a question, a comment, anything at all. Just call that number, 516-619-6341, and we'll play it on the air. Or if you'd like to be old-fashioned and send me an email, send it to talkinggolf@gmail.com. That's talkinggolf@gmail.com. Okay, and we're back, and it's time to take a look at the schedule for next week. In the PGA, they'll be holding the Wyndham Championship, where Jim Herman is defending that title. The PGA champions are in action next week. They'll be playing the Shore Charity Classic. West Shore Jr. defends there. And the Corn Ferry Tour is the Pinnacle Bank Championship. Seth Reeves defends. The LPGA Tour is playing the Trust Golf Women's Open, and that is the Women's British Open. And Stacey Lewis is, that's the Scottish Open, the Trust Golf Women's Open. Stacey Lewis defends there. And on the European Tour, it is the Kazoo Classic. So, action all across the major tours next week, and we'll have a report on all of them next week on Chip Shots. But that's going to do it for this week, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. And as I said before, I hope that if you're watching on YouTube, you'll hit that subscribe button and that bell so you'll know when an episode is always coming out. And it really does help to spread the word to people and to bring in new people into the channel, which is our goal. And hopefully, we are going to try to do some more interviews in the future with authors and instructors and maybe even a pro or two, hopefully, as we go down the road. So I hope that you'll keep tuned in and listen in. We also do an audio version, which is available and at Anchor.fm or on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, all over the place. Wherever you listen to a podcast, you can find us. So I hope you'll check out that as well. Until the next time, remember, as you walk down the fairway of life, you must smell the roses, for you only get to play one round. And I'll see you next time on another edition of Chip Shots.